If you're a regular to my channel, you know that I'm all about following your passion when it comes to the work that you do. And Gallup organization, they say that 70% of the workforce out there is suffering from Sunday night blues, essentially meaning that they don't have any desire to go to work on Monday morning. And one of the most important reasons for this is because the individual is not, their values are not aligned with that of the company's. And I've experienced this personally. My last position, I worked there almost 20 years, and my values were not aligned with that of the company's. Now, the only reason I lasted as long as I did is I had a great boss and I had a great team, and that kind of sheltered me from the entire culture of the company. But the company, and again, this was a good company. By all means, it was a good company, but it wasn't aligned with my values. It was more about building wealth for those that work for the company or the clients of those individuals that worked with the company. I was in the IT department, so it was a little bit different, but the entire foundation of the company was really about building wealth. It wasn't until after I left that position and took my coaching practice full time that I really understood how misaligned my values were of that with the companies, because I've discovered my value is more about helping individuals making an impact in their lives, and not necessarily a financial impact, but one where it helps them find another job. So this is what's most important for me. My name is Bill Benoist. I'm a certified professional career coach here in Silicon Valley, and I primarily work with people in mid to late career. And a lot of times these individuals will come to me and they'll say, Bill, I just don't know what it is that I want to do next. And one of the first discussions we have is about their values. And something that I have discovered in so many of these conversations is that the individual believes they know quite what it is that is most important for them when it comes to their next job. But when we get down to the nitty gritty, they find that it really wasn't the case. You may not know this about me, but I am a master practitioner in NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming. Now, again, some people will see that as woo-woo out there, but it does come in very practically for me in a lot of my discussions. And I want to share with you a technique that I learned as an NLP practitioner that I often will share with my clients out there. And it's called the hierarchy of criteria. And this is the way it works. And this will really help you define what it is that is most important for you when it comes to that next job. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to take a piece of paper and I want you to divide it into two columns. Now this first column, I want you to write up along the top what is most important in your next job. And then I want you to list the first item that comes to mind. Maybe it's a good boss, maybe it's your salary, maybe it's the commute. Everybody's going to have a different number one, but I want you to put the first one down. And after you've done this, I want you to write the second one, and then the third, and then a fourth. And right about now, what will probably happen, maybe it will happen after I say write the fifth one down, you're going to start struggling with what it is that is most important for you in your next job. But keep going, because this is going to last you this thought, this stoppage here. And it's like, God, what else is there? It will come back, and in a moment or so, you're going to be able to write down number 6 and number 7 and number 8. And I don't want you to stop until you have 13 items that are most important for you in that next position. Don't stop at 12. Don't stop at 11. You don't need to go to 14. Stop at number 13. These are the most important elements in your next job. Now, on the right side of the column, I want you to label that must-haves. And then take a look at the column you've just created, that left-hand side. And if you could have only one of those items, which one would it be? You may find that number 1 is not the one that moves over into the right-hand side. It might be number 3. But I want you to go ahead and move it over, and then I want you to cross it off. Because if you could only have one, which one would it be? And now you have 12 items left on the left-hand side. If you could only take one of those 12, which one would it be? Take it, move it over to the right-hand side, and cross it off. And now you have 11 remaining. Guess what? We're going to do it again. Of those 11, if you could only have one, which one would it be? You may find that it's like number 8 on that list. But as you think about, oh man, if I could only have one, I'm going to take that one. I want you to move it over. And you're going to do this for the first 5. You're going to ask yourself, because this is so important, if I could only have one of those, which one would it be? And you're going to end up with 5 on the right-hand side. You don't have to go any further than that, so 5 is fine. Now, take a look on the right-hand column and look at the way these are numbered. Are you happy with that? Some people will want to renumber them again. Some people are they're completely happy with what they got. This is now defining what your core values are, what it is that you want in that next job. And my guess is when you look over on the left-hand side, it's not in the same numerical sequence as it is now. And this is why I said in the beginning, my guess is you may not exactly know what it is that's most important for you. But if you have these defined and you sit there and say number 1 is feeling like you're making a difference in the world out there, then you probably might not be as satisfied working in a computer hardware company as you would in maybe a medical device company, improving the lives of others. Maybe it is wealth, so maybe it is going to be, investment banking or real estate or some other sales profession. Maybe it's a great boss and, looking at Glassdoor and finding that, oh, well, this company here has a 2.5 rating favorably, where this company over here is a 4.5. Now you're starting to define your values as to what is most important for you. So again, this is a little exercise. It comes out of NLP. It's called the Hierarchy of Criteria. I hope you found it informative and useful. And if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, make sure that you do so. Hit the bell notification, as I do upload new career tips and strategies every Tuesday, and I'd hate for you to miss anything. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next week.